My name is Dinora Jaime, DJ for short.
Jacqueline Gallegos.
Daniel Salazar, Associate of Applied Science with HVAC and Facilities Maintenance.
Associates in Science, so I had the AJAC.
Behavioral Health Technician.
So I was born and raised in the south side of Tucson. I grew up in a very dysfunctional home, a very, very toxic environment. I had a very good friend that pushed me towards the military. So I joined the Air Force. When I came back to Pima, I knew I wanted to do something else with my life because the military was no longer fulfilling me.
I'm a single mother. I have a 16-year-old daughter. 12 years ago, I came here to Tucson, Arizona to take care of my dad. I had no high school diploma. I had no form of education. I came out to Tucson and got hired straight into the mortgage industry. Right after, the market crashed, it just seemed like I wasn't really going anywhere. Still didn't have my high school diploma. I was falling into a depression. I just felt that it was time to go back to school. After some counseling, I spoke to a therapist and she told me, the only way to do it is to start from scratch, and I did.
I worked in the garbage business for 10 years. I had been looking for a career change for a while. I thought it was impossible. I thought school wasn't for me. I had brought my nephew to sign up to Pima, and I saw the process to get in, and I decided to give it a shot. From one day to another, I decided to take the test, the assessment test, and before you knew it, the morning after, I told my wife I signed up for college.
So I started at Pima Community College to go do EMT certification. Then I had a very, very great mentor that pushed me to get an associate's, to get a bachelor's, and then inevitably pursue medical school. So I started off at Pima just to get a certificate, but I ended up with a whole career ahead of me. I'm on the path of becoming a physician because of people at Pima Community College.
I enrolled. The first step was to go and look into the GED process. I did. I took the orientation, and that's when it just snowballed from there. One of the challenges was math. I had such a hard time with that. It took me a while. I didn't pass on the first, third try, fourth try. It took me a while for the math test, but I was able to do it.
In order to fulfill your dreams, you have to set up goals and start somewhere. And maybe walking through that door and take that test, let's see how you do, and go from there. One of the biggest challenges was starting fresh again, because it had been quite a few years after I graduated from high school. I had to spend a lot of time away from my kids and my wife, and I appreciate their support, because without them I wouldn't have made it that far.
I didn't know I had these goals to begin with. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and so just helping me figure out how far I can go, just that in itself is huge. I wouldn't be here if it wouldn't have been for Pima. If it weren't for Pima mentors and Pima, I think it helped me. I was 29 when I got out of the Air Force. I was, 10 years after I got out of high school. I was 10 years after war. All these things in my life, and then to land at U of A, I firmly believe I would have never made it. So the fact that I had a small community like Pima, the interaction with my professors that now became a letter of recommendations to become a physician, it was like a child learning how to crawl to learn how to walk. It was Pima's mission to teach me to walk, and that's when I started to run at the U of A.
I was able to complete a year and get my certification in behavioral health, and now I'm helping out the community here in Tucson with, working in the behavioral health field. I would say that it was life-changing for me. That first step into the door to the advisor's office, to the financial aid office was the start of my life-changing career and overall life.
My reward was getting to that stage and getting that diploma. That was my goal, and that was my encouragement. Why did I get there? Is to show my kids that if this old man made it this far, working full time, at least they can get there, but they can do a lot better, that's for sure.